BTS Global News Exclusive. Seoul, October 2025. The sky over Seoul that evening looked heavy, as if holding back something that hadn't yet been spoken. The autumn wind blew softly from the Han River, carrying the faint scent of falling leaves. But online, something far from calm was brewing: Jimin's bracelet. A bracelet that looked ordinary at first glance. But for ARMY, nothing is ever truly ordinary when it comes to Jimin of BTS. The headline dominating every social platform today read, "Jimin's hidden messages, bracelet clues unlocked." And that was where everything began. A single image, a single glimmer, and thousands of hearts racing with curiosity. It all started with one photo Jimin posted on Weverse. In it, he sat in a dimly lit room, wearing an oversized gray sweater and a slim bracelet on his left wrist. At first, it seemed like just another accessory. But when fans zoomed in, they noticed something shimmering faintly on the small metal charm. A barely visible engraving that seemed to read, JK13. Within minutes, the hashtag Jimin bracelet rocketed to the top of X, formerly Twitter, trends. Thousands of fans began dissecting every detail, comparing it to older photos, even to the bracelet Jungkook had worn during a Weverse Live last year. Major fanbases uploaded high-resolution analyses as if investigating a global mystery. The shape of the engraving, the type of metal, and even the placement of the bracelet on Jimin's left wrist, identical to the one seen on Jungkook's arm during the Golden Night concert in Tokyo. One fan comment on a BTS Universe forum said it all. "It's not just a bracelet. It's a message." From there, the theories spread like wildfire. Some believe that JK13 was a nod to June 13th, the day BTS debuted. But others, especially those who closely follow Jimin and Jungkook's subtle dynamics, believed it meant something far more personal. 13, they recalled, was a recurring number in their shared history, from the timing of their most emotional Weverse posts to a cryptic line Jimin once said in a vlog. "If you remember 13, you'll understand everything." By nightfall, the fandom had transformed into a storm of emotion and speculation. ARMY across the world began connecting this clue with an earlier event. Weeks before, Jimin had been spotted at a private function, unusually quiet. In one leaked paparazzi clip, he was seen covering his left wrist as if hiding something. Now, that tiny detail suddenly carried enormous weight. That HYBE remained silent, issuing no official statement. But their silence only fueled more intrigue. A production insider quietly told a local reporter, "That bracelet isn't part of any brand deal or stage outfit. It's his personal item." That single sentence hit the fandom like a spark in dry grass. Everyone began to believe Jimin was sending a message, not through words, but through something only one other person would understand. And then, as if perfectly timed, Jungkook posted a black and white photo on Instagram. It showed his hand gripping a microphone, the same style of bracelet visible on his wrist. No caption, no emojis, just shadows and light. Yet to those who followed their intertwined paths for years, the picture said everything that words couldn't point. One fan wrote, "It's like they're speaking to each other silently, through these bracelets, across time and distance." The timing of both posts made everything even more suspicious. Jimin's photo went up at exactly 11:13 p.m. Korea Standard Time. Jungkook's Instagram story followed just 12 minutes later. That tiny window of time was enough for ARMY to claim the two were sending each other secret signs. Some fans went deeper. They discovered that the bracelet design resembled one from a Korean jewelry brand known for hidden message accessories, pieces engraved with invisible letters that only appear under certain light. A few even replicated the bracelet and found that under UV light, the letters J and K appeared clearly, connected by a small heart symbol. Soon, one popular theory on ARMY forums went viral under the dramatic title, "The Bracelet Pact, the Silent Promise of Jungkook." In that post, fans described the bracelet as a secret vow between Jimin and Jungkook, a promise never spoken aloud, but always felt. A promise to remain connected despite distance, fame, or time apart. Not everyone agreed. Some dismissed it as coincidence or friendship tokens. But what made everything feel too real was the way Jimin looked into the camera in that photo. His gaze soft yet intense, as if saying something without moving his lips. Anyone who saw it knew. There was emotion hidden behind that small, knowing smile. As the night deepened, the bracelet mystery only grew louder. Fans began pulling clips from years ago, like the moment in a Bangtan Bomb where Jimin was caught playfully putting a bracelet on Jungkook's wrist, laughing quietly. A moment once dismissed as lighthearted suddenly felt heavy with new meaning. People started to realize that perhaps these tiny, forgotten scenes were fragments of a much bigger story, one built silently between the lights, laughter, and stage curtains. Some fans even linked the bracelet to Jungkook's solo song, Still With You, released privately years ago. In the line, "I see you hidden in the light, still wearing what I gave," many now believe Jimin was the person being sung to, and that the bracelet might be proof of that poetic truth. Meanwhile, a Japanese entertainment reporter revealed in an old, unpublished interview that Jimin once mentioned something small that reminds me of when things were simpler. When asked if it was an object, he smiled and said, "Yes, something that circles my wrist." That quote resurfaced instantly. Simple, ambiguous, but in today's context, it felt like a quiet confession. Through all the chaos, Jimin remained calm. He didn't post anything more on Weverse after the photo. He only appeared once on a short live broadcast, smiling warmly and greeting fans before saying softly, "You guys are too smart, huh?" He didn't explain further, but those words only deepened the mystery. Hours later, paparazzi spotted Jimin leaving the HYB building late at night, wearing a long black coat. The bracelet still gleamed faintly under the streetlights. He paused for a moment, gazing up at the cloudy sky before slipping into his car. 30 minutes later, Jungkook was seen leaving the same building, hood up, mask on, silent. But as the camera flashed, something metallic shone at his wrist. The same bracelet. Army exhaled collectively across continents. Was it coincidence? Or was it an intentional message left just visible enough for those who cared to notice? As days passed, the bracelet became more than an accessory. It became a symbol. It represented something intimate and unspoken, a quiet connection that transcended language. Fans began calling it the Jungkook Code. Every time either of them appeared in public, all eyes went straight to their wrists. Soon, another theory surfaced, that JK13 was part of an unreleased project. Rumor had it the two were secretly working on a duet for BTS's next anniversary. A producer from HYB, speaking anonymously, admitted they often come to the studio late at night. Just the two of them. No staff, no cameras, just music. Whatever the truth may be, one thing was undeniable. The bracelet wasn't random. It had meaning. And every glimmer of metal seemed to whisper a story untold, a bond unbroken. As soul grew quiet again under its autumn sky. Images of the bracelet continued to circulate online. Fans made edits, wrote poetry, even animated the moment their hands seemed to meet. The meaning was the same across every creation, that love, in its purest form, doesn't always need to be announced. Sometimes, it's enough to be remembered silently. Kept close to the heart, wrapped around the wrist, never taken off. The next morning, Jimin posted one short line on Weverse. "Everything you need to know is already shining." And with that, ARMY knew the story wasn't over. The bracelet was only the beginning of something deeper, something waiting to unfold in its own time. Under its own light, the world continued to guess. Jimin and Jungkook walked their paths quietly. Two souls who have always turned the smallest things into symbols of something infinite. Two hearts that speak without sound. Yet the whole world listens. And perhaps, within every glint of that small silver band, there lies a whisper only they can hear. A hidden message that the world is just beginning to understand.